I love my immediate family. But don't you look at your relatives, you can't believe you're actually related to these people? I give blood 4 times a year just so I'm less and less related to these people. Thank you very much. This is a very big time for me. 2 months ago, after all these years, I finally tied the knot. Thanks. Thank you. I don't know who else has had a vasectomy, but it was not easy, I'll tell you. When my wife first got pregnant, I didn't realize she wasn't feeling well. I didn't think anything of it. Then she started throwing up every morning and putting on weight. Then it occurred to me, she's got a drinking problem. When she was pregnant, she would get these cravings in the middle of the night. She would get these cravings for other men, which was so frustrating. But... So we have 2 kids. We have an 8-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl, and they're both at such a cute age, you know. Our babysitter is 22, which is also a cute age, and I've noticed. And we picked out kind of old-fashioned names for our kids. Our little boy's Hunter, and our little girl is Gatherer. Names you don't hear a lot of anymore, but... Of course, like any parent, I want my kid to have all the advantages in life that I never had, so we've started putting money aside for his hair weave. Those things are expensive. So. When he was really little, my wife used to dress him up in this little sailor suit. Then he wouldn't stop cursing. Asked me where he could find some action in this town. Having dinner last night, my 6-year-old turned to me and said, "Dad, when I grow up, I'm going to marry you." We laughed about it. My wife said, "Don't make the same mistakes I did." Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't propose publicly. I was at a baseball game last summer. This plane flew overhead with this banner that said, "Ann, will you marry me, Dave?" Apparently, Ann said no because this other plane showed up and shot the first plane down. If you're gonna get engaged, don't do what I did, because I got the ring by myself. And just really go with her to get the ring, because it wasn't what she wanted. I had to try to return it, and the van wasn't there. I've definitely changed now that I'm married. One thing I never do now that I'm married is I never check out other women. I let my wife do it for me. We're walking somewhere, she'd be like, "Do you see that woman over there with the skirt up to here?" I almost missed her. Thank God you're here. Keep up the good work, I'll tell you. So I grew up in New England. I grew up in a mobile home, so I never had to mow the lawn or shovel snow. Plus, you learn a lot when you live in a mobile home. Did you know the average Jehovah's Witness can run 35 miles an hour? They're amazing. I love the Northeast, though. I got in a bizarre skiing accident last winter. I collided with this guy on his Nordic track. Staying at a friend's house. I like just about every sport. I went hunting for the first time. I shot an elk. I felt really bad at first, but the guy was wearing a plaid leisure suit, so... My uncle's an elk. You know, I'm not too crazy about my relatives. I love my immediate family. But don't you look at your relatives, you can't believe you're actually related to these people? I give blood 4 times a year just so I'm less and less related to these people. Not sure it works like that. When I was a kid, I had this one aunt. She used to always call me by my brother's name. I mean, a million times every time I saw her, and finally, I just snapped. I said, "You are the biggest simpleton idiot pinhead I've ever met." She got all upset, called my parents, told on me. My brother got screwed. So by applause, how many parents do we have here? One thing I notice about parents always make ridiculous predictions about their kids. The day my little boy was born, a friend of mine called me because his little girl was born the day before. He goes, who knows? Maybe they'll end up getting married. My little boy's a day old. His little girl's 2 days old. He's not going to marry someone twice his age. It's so stupid. Oh. Did your parents ever give the old when I was your age thing? I can remember being 5 years old. My father said to me, when I was your age, I was a caddy at a golf course. I'd say, Dad, you're still a caddy at a golf course. Hasn't helped you one bit. My parents are funny. From time to time, my mother puts on her wedding dress. Not because she's sentimental. She just gets really far behind in her laundry. She's walking the mall, people going, what is that? Of course, now that I'm a dad, I'll call my dad, ask for advice. He always says the same thing, how'd you get this number? So not helpful. Very strange man, my father. My father's allergic to cotton. He has pills he can take, but he can't get them out of the bottle. Now that he's retired, he's gone back to college, and we're very proud of him, Except when he comes home from a keg party and pees out the window, Then we're not as proud. But. We flew down to Florida a couple months ago to visit my dad. I made the mistake of calling in sick from the airport. You ever do this? Don't do this. Right when I was about to say why I couldn't come in, you could hear, Flight 709 is now boarding. Flight 709 is now boarding. So I said, I can't come in. I'm hearing voices. I went on vacation last year. I was such a rush to get to the airport. I got there and realized I forgot my luggage. I felt so stupid. Carrying my clothes in a big pile. Well, who wouldn't? It took me hours to get all my stuff off that belt. Still missing socks. Do so many stupid things. We had a blackout last summer at my house, and I couldn't find a flashlight or any candles, but in the medicine cabinet, I found an old glow-in-the-dark condom and had to put that on. Then my wife comes home. It's still pitch black except for a flicker of light. She thinks there's a firefly in the house. Starts swatting me with a magazine. She's like, I'm trying to kill it. It keeps getting brighter. All right, maybe you didn't need to have that image in your head.